The law firm of Grimes and McBride have set Knicks fans on fire this offseason during the Summer League with their shooting, their defensive prowess in the Summer League. Do you think they can make an immediate impact in the NBA this season?
I do think what we've seen from them so far this summer has been impressive, and it's what you just listed. Obviously, some very good shooting. I think the ability to pass the ball and share it really by McBride and by Grimes. I think both of those guys are very good NBA-level players, but I do think it will be tough for them to break through with the Kembas and the Evan Fourniers that are obviously going to be given more opportunity. A Kemba, for example, if he's a little bit banged up, I do think there's no doubt those guys can get more opportunities, but I think that the guard lineup, especially with Alec Burks being back, it could be hard to break into unless there are those times where there's injuries, guys are resting. Kemba perhaps with the knee issues that he's had, maybe really trying to peak at the right time in the playoffs, I think would be late in the season perhaps when those guys can stay ready, really show that they're workers, that Coach Tibb has been on them talking about culture and always being a professional. And I do think they may get their chances, but they just might be very quick.
I'm going to knock on wood and go with the positive spin on that, because that would mean that all the guys that you listed that are not going to be rookies this year are handling their business on the floor and it looks
healthy.
Good. Yeah, and healthy. Right. So we hope that happens. All right. Speaking of a guy that handled his business last season, Julius Randle, most improved. More or less pressure on him, Novi, moving into this season?
I do think there's certainly more pressure on him this season. Look, he was already making good money, and I think the New York Knicks as a franchise gave him the ball and said, we expect you to be the guy, when they gave him a 3-year, $62 million contract. And so, look, he went from making $20 million a year to now signing this 4-year, $117. And he'll be making about $30 million a year. So I don't think the money and the 5 years and the $140 that he'll be making over the next 5 years is the reason for the pressure. I really think just watching this season, he was a guy that truly was an MVP level candidate. His name was thrown in there with all the top guys in the league this year, and deservedly so. But I do think he did not play his best basketball late in the season, and specifically in the playoffs against the Atlanta Hawks. And so I do think when you get an extension like this and you get $10 million more per year than you did previously, to me, that's where the pressure is going to come from for him. Can he be the go-to closer, the guy that wins this team games? And can the Knicks be better than they were last year? I do think that's a tall task. The East is very good, and there's no question. That money is going to be on the front of people's minds, but he's going to have to perform for sure.
Well, looking forward to it, because Julius has improved every season he's been here in New York City. So let's see how that goes. I feel like one of the big question marks when it comes to this Knicks team is somebody who a lot of fans thought was a certainty for a long time, when Mitchell Robinson. He was the guy who was taken in the second round that people were comparing to maybe Rudy Gobert if he can, really reach that potential. Steve, what do you expect from Mitchell Robinson this year in a very pivotal year in his career?
Yeah, I agree. It is a pivotal year, and I think mainly because, like you said, the expectations for him to be a Rudy Gobert type player are not crazy. I do think he can be that caliber of player. He's been banged up. He only played 31 games last year. He averaged 8 points, 8 rebounds. I think this is the year that New York is going to want to see him at 23 years old take that next step, become a consistent double-double guy, an enforcer at the rim. With a coach like Coach Thibodeau, you realize he is going to be given opportunity after opportunity. If he guards the basket, if he is an enforcer down there, Coach Tibbs is going to want him down there protecting. And so this should be a year where he has seen his team succeed, play well. He's been unfortunately banged up, but if he can stay healthy, be a double-double guy, and that Coach Tibbs type enforcer that I think we've often seen more veteran type guys on Coach Tibbs teams be, then there's no question this can be a pivotal year, and certainly I think change the way he's viewed as, like you said, perhaps a defensive player of the year type player.